want to touch on discipline in general, some strategies behind keeping your discipline. The number one component that I would say, guys, that you want to utilize or revisit is your why, and get very, very clear on your why. Have that in front of you in some format, whether it's on your whiteboard, whether it's written in your phone, whether you have a poster, whatever that may be. You have to understand the why is going to drive you. What is your why you want to show up, why you want to have that discipline to be successful in going to the gym and taking care of your health, and being productive in your day, being productive in your business, whatever that looks like. So your why, guys, so keep that in front of you. So some things I see that will help is the 85% rule. What that is aim for consistency, right? You build the consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Day isn't a failure if we can get most of it in. So with nutrition, you're not always going to be perfect. If you're close enough, you're good enough. If you're in there and you make your workout and you're not going to be PR, and I talked about this last week, that's okay. But if you're in there doing the work, it's going to get you one step closer. So 85% rule. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And there's another one that people talk about. It's the 20-80 rule. If you're doing 20% of the higher level components, it's going to get 80% of the results. And but that would be another conversation. But use the discipline loop. This is a simple strategy, and some of you guys have heard me talk about this, and this goes along with motivation. So action rewards reinforcement. So once you do the action, okay, example workout, you feel great, repeat the next day, right? So you build that in, and that feeling becomes a part of what you do on a consistent basis, and that's going to build the discipline component. But we have to take the actions to do it first. So also another strategy would be like non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables? Identify them, write them down. I'll give you examples. Some of the non-negotiables for like Aaron and myself, and for me personally, non-negotiables. I'm going to work out regardless, unless I'm sick or whatever. But workouts is part of what I do. It's been part of what I've done for a long time, and the main reason, all the benefits are great, but I've used a workout as a release for me for years and years and years. It gave me some opportunity to get some manage emotional responses, which I'm much better now. I've been through some training, anger issues, things of that nature. I used to struggle with some of those components. Frustration, I didn't know how to process, didn't know how to communicate emotions to people. So I used workouts for myself personally to obviously get that frustration out in some format. Sports was the other component. But resistance training has always been for me, again, it's non-negotiable, but it was a tool that I used to cope with things that I didn't have the capacity to cope with, or I didn't have a skill set yet to cope with. Now I do, a little different, but that's just me personally. But non-negotiables for you guys need to design that, put that in. What's your non-negotiable? A couple other non-negotiables, I'll give you an example. We spend a little bit more money in food. And we've done that for a long time. What I'm saying is we do buy higher quality food. We go to Whole Foods. Aaron is very specific in the types of foods, and that rolls down all the way to our kids. We know it's going to cost more. It is what it is, and that's a non-negotiable. We budget that, and we can make it up in other areas, but that's a non-negotiable for us. And what would be another example of a non-negotiable? I mean, something's going to set your standards, like. If you are used to staying in certain types of hotels and then you deviate from that, so you can set a non-negotiable when you travel. Hey, I'm going to stay in this quality hotel because it makes me feel good. It makes the experience good. You may pay for it, but it's going to be an experience, and it'll make you feel better. You're able to relax. How it's laid out. Whatever the non-negotiable is, you need to put that in. Obviously, in your daily routines, weekly routines, whatever. Define your non-negotiables, and have them in front of you and remember them. That's just like when I talk about the standards. Similar concept, right? And the last one is obviously accountability. You got to hold yourself accountable. It's like checking a box. Hey, did I do what I needed to do today to move myself closer to what I desire? What goals do I have? So that's kind of what the Trainerize is designed for. There's specific goals and things like that. You check off, boom, boom, boom. So this is all strategies, obviously, to build a discipline within. Some of us have more discipline than others, and we've probably built that within our life in some format, right? In what we do on a daily basis and how we're impacted is probably a reflection of some type of discipline that you personally had to put in place. Some people are more disciplined than others. It's just that they had a different experience coming up through the ranks, right? So again, to build that discipline, your why has to be strong and understand and clear. It's different for every person because we all have a little bit different experiences and things going on. And then, the 85% rule is it doesn't have to be perfect. We just have to be better and close enough. And then, obviously, use the discipline. They call it a discipline loop, and it is action, reward, reinforcement. Example: your action. You're going to work out. You got your workout in. Okay, you feel great. Awesome. Wash, rinse, repeat. You keep that cycle going. And then the last one, or last two actually, is non-negotiables. Set your standard. What does that look like? What's your non-negotiables going to look like for you? And then is some type of accountability system. Again, you guys in the coaching program are in accountability system, and that's part of what coaching is somebody's going to hold you accountable. Hey, are you doing your shit or you're not? It's kind of black and white. If you're getting from point A to point B, you are, and if you're not doing your shit, you're probably not. So all good. And I just want to jump on here. I know some of you guys are hitting spring break, so your calendar's going to be all messed up. If you're on spring break, try to stay in some type of routine. Specifically, what I see really impacts people is some type of sleep routine, right? If you can get a good cycle of sleep in, if you can still get up early, don't stay up too late. Try to stay on some type of reasonable nutritional component. And if you can keep your workouts part of your routine, even if you're traveling, some type of workouts. Again, hit me up if you guys need those travel workouts. But those are the components. Some of my non-negotiables. When I travel, I will work out. Sleep may be over. Food is another one. We typically will still stay on some type of clean eating. Now, do we deviate a little bit? Yeah, it's going to be that 85, 80%, 80-20 rule or whatever, 85% of good and not. So again, you guys, keep moving. We have a lot of wins. A lot of people are down 20, 30, 40 pounds, kicking butt and taking names. Some people are in different phases. So hit me up if you need anything. And if you guys are on spring break, enjoy. And the weather's great today.